Hello guys, today we will see what is maximum work and maximum non-expansion work. But before that, let's see what we have seen in previous classes. First of all, we saw the first law, then second law. Second law introduced new state function called entropy, and with the help of that entropy, Clausius derived one inequality that is called Clausius inequality. That was delta S is greater than or equal to dq by t. Okay, that was called Clausius inequality, and that Clausius inequality rearranged and gives another two state functions. Delta A Helmholtz energy and delta G gives free energy. We have seen these two terms in last classes, and to determine as the criteria of spontaneity, these two functions are used, and it is more easy to and more convenient to use these functions as compared to change in entropy. But in the last class, what we have seen, T ds is greater than or equal to dq. Okay, therefore, and for at constant volume dq was du. Now du minus T ds will be greater than or less than? It will be less than, because in the side of du this is like, so it is less than, so T ds when comes in this side, it will be again become less than or equal to 0. And in last class I have mistakenly taken it greater than or equal to 0. It was wrong, and I have corrected it in last minute, but still if anyone has doubt, clear it. It is du minus T ds is less than or equal to 0 from this equation. From Clausius inequality, T ds is greater than or equal to dq at constant volume, and we can write it as du, and therefore du minus T ds will be less than or equal to 0. And similarly if T ds is greater than or equal to dq at constant pressure, it will be dh. We have derived these relations, and now dh minus T ds will also less than or equal to 0. So correct it in your notes. Fine. Now let's move towards our today's topic of discussion. It is maximum work. Actually, maximum work, Helmholtz free energy is called as Helmholtz function, or Helmholtz energy is called as maximum work. Why? Let's see it. See, please concentrate on each step. First, we have derived this delta A is equals to delta U minus T delta S. In the last class, we have seen that we have given U minus TDS, U minus TS was new state function, and we gave the name to it as Helmholtz function, and after differentiating for finite change, it was delta A is equals to delta U minus T delta S at constant temperature. This is the equation. Okay, now we also have seen definition of entropy, change in entropy. It was delta S is equals to Q reversible upon T, and therefore we can write Q reversible is equals to T delta S. Is that clear? And now what is delta U? Before that, let's substitute this T delta S as Q reversible in this equation. So delta A will become, it will equal to delta U minus Q reversible. Got it? Delta A is equals to delta U minus Q reversible. We just substituted T delta S in this equation. Now delta A is equals to delta U minus Q reversible, and we also know the first law. What is first law? Delta U is equals to Q plus W. It should be tip of your tongues, because we have studied from the very beginning. We have seen this law, and we are using it at every step. So delta U is equals to Q plus W, change in internal energy equals to heat and work done. So now therefore W reversible, how can we write? If we take it reversible and this will also be reversible, then W reversible will equal to delta U minus Q reversible, right? Is that clear? Now if work is done by system on surrounding, then what can we write? We will give it a negative sign. So minus W reversible is equal to delta U minus Q reversible. And what is delta U minus Q reversible? It is our change in Helmholtz energy. So it will be equal to delta A. Now we got this. Delta A is equals to minus W reversible. Delta A is equals to minus W reversible. And if we take only magnitude, then what will be the value? Delta A will be equal to maximum work. Because why this is maximum? As we already seen, there are two processes, one is reversible, one is irreversible, and work done in reversible process will always greater than in irreversible process, and also work done in reversible process will be maximum. Right, work done in reversible process will always be maximum because there is no losses in the energy. Okay, whole energy is converted into work. So it will be reversible work will be maximum. Therefore, change in Helmholtz energy will be equal to maximum work done by the system. So delta A, that is Helmholtz energy, is also called as Helmholtz function, and it is also called as work function. Got it? In this way we have studied work function, maximum work. Now we have the relation delta A is equals to delta U minus T delta S, right? It is change in Helmholtz free energy, Helmholtz energy. But what the equation convey? What equation conveys to us? If we take it, if we say delta S, there is decrease in entropy. If system is performing spontaneous, system is performing the work and the process is spontaneous, how it will be spontaneous if there is decrease in entropy? Still we have written decrease in entropy, then what will happen? Delta A is equals to delta U. Now it will be plus T delta S, right? As delta S is negative, decrease in entropy means S2 minus S1 will be negative. This is negative and this negative sign will become positive. Okay. And what is delta U? Now entropy is decreasing. How it will be decreased? It will decrease if internal energy will also decrease, and therefore motion of molecules will be reduced by some extent, and therefore delta U is negative. Delta U will also be negative because system is undergoing spontaneous change, but there is a decrease in entropy, and therefore internal energy will also decrease. So that what it will do, internal energy, if it is negative and it is positive, now therefore, and this we have already called as W max, maximum work. Now maximum work will be less than delta U, change in internal energy, because we have to subtract this term from this value because it is negative and it is positive. Therefore, the maximum work we obtain in such a case will be less than change in internal energy. And how can we represent it? Let's say this is our system. In our system, delta U is less than 0. That means internal energy is decreasing. Now, how it will decrease? It will give some heat to surrounding, and what will be the consequence? As heat heat is given to surrounding, therefore entropy of surrounding will increase, therefore delta S surrounding will be greater than 0. And what about work? W max will be less than internal energy. That's it. Did you understand? Delta U, as internal energy is decreasing, how it will be decreased? It will give some heat to the surrounding, because heat is taken by surrounding, its entropy will increase, and delta S of system is less than 0 also. Therefore we can say that entropy of system is decreasing, still the process is spontaneous, because entropy of surrounding is increasing, and therefore delta S total will be greater than 0, and therefore process is spontaneous. As process is spontaneous, we can say that increase in entropy of surrounding is greater than decrease in entropy of system. Now second case, if we consider entropy of system is increasing, now what? As entropy of system increasing, this value will be negative. We know system is decreasing its internal energy, and this value is also negative, because S2 minus S1 is positive. As entropy is increasing, entropy of system is increasing, so this term will have positive value, but here is negative sign, therefore it will become, sorry, it is positive, therefore negative and negative, it will be addition. Therefore maximum work, delta A means maximum work function, so W max will be less than delta U. Why? This whole value is W max, but it is greater than delta U, because delta U and T delta S gets added to form W max. So W max will be greater than delta U, change in internal energy, and we can represent this in this way. See, delta U is less than 0 again, but delta S system is now greater than 0. Change in entropy is positive, and now it will again give how this will be attained now. As it is, this value is positive, surrounding will give some heat to system to increase its, because see, internal energy is decreasing, still the process is going on, and it is spontaneous. How it will be spontaneous? Because system entropy of system is increasing now. How the entropy of system will increase? If its energy is decreasing, then its disorder should also decrease, but no. What system will do? It will get some heat from surrounding for compensation, and therefore for compensation of its work done. So the heat will be absorbed, and with the help of that work is done, W max, and it will be less than change in internal energy, because it will add up with these two terms will add up to form maximum work, and therefore W max will be less than change in internal energy. And delta S surrounding, as heat is loosed by surrounding, therefore delta S surrounding will be less than 0. Is it clear? Now that's all for maximum work. Now let's see maximum non-expansion work. What is maximum non-expansion work? Firstly, we know that H is equal to U plus PV, right? We know the formula of enthalpy, we have seen in detail. Now H is equal to U plus PV. For change, if we take derivative, small change, then what will be the relation? dH is equal to dQ, sorry, U, how U can be written? See, H is equal to U plus PV, U is equal to we know Q plus W. Therefore, du is equals to dq plus dw, and we have substituted value of du here. So dH will be equal to dq plus dw plus d of PV. Now G is equals to, we also know that what is Gibbs energy, Gibbs function. Gibbs function is G is equals to H minus Ts, right? H minus Ts. Now we will substitute, first of all we will take dg in the form of derivative. So dg will equal to differentiation. So dg will equal to dH minus TdS minus S dt. We know that PV rule. Here that PV rule is applied. First as it is derivative of second minus second as it is derivative of first. TdS minus S dt. Now dg will be equal to, substitute this value in this equation. Substitute the value of dH in this equation, then we will get dg is equals to dq plus dw plus dpv minus tds minus s dt, right? dq plus dw plus dpv minus tds minus s dt. Now let's see, if we take temperature constant, if temperature is equals to constant, then dt will be equal to 0. Therefore this term will vanish, and hence we can write dg is equals to dq plus dw plus as it is everything, and it will be vanished. That's it. Now process is, as temperature changes 0, so process is isothermal. And again, if we consider the process is reversible, then for reversible process dq, we can write dq as dq reversible and dw as dw reversible. I just wrote this. Now let's see, what is dq reversible? We know that ds is equals to dq reversible upon t. Therefore dq reversible will be tds, and here we have substituted, and again everything as it is. Now what will happen? TDS and this TDS will be cancelled. That's it. So dg is equals to dw reversible plus dpv. We have got this. Now what is dw reversible? If we consider system is performing the work, but there is two kinds of work. dw reversible. Now one is expansion work. It will be PdV minus PdV as work performed by system on surrounding minus PdV. But one is non-expansion work, and we can write it dw additional. We can write it as additional quantity, additional and again reversible. So we will introduce this term which is non-expansion work. It is the non-expansion work. So we can write dw reversible as, see, dg is equals to minus pdv plus dw additional work, additional and reversible work, and plus derivative of pv. What will be? UV rule. We will get pdv plus vdp, right? V as it is derivative of p. Now minus pdv and pdv will get cancelled, and therefore dg will equal to dw additional and reversible plus vdp. But if we take pressure as constant, then what will happen? And in the case of Gibbs free energy, we have already taken pressure constant. Temperature and pressure are constant at that time. So we have taken delta G at constant temperature and constant pressure is less than equal to 0. We have derived this in last lecture. So here if pressure is constant, this term will vanish. Then dg will be equal to dw additional and reversible. So what can we say for this? It is dw maximum additional work. additional maximum work, because it is reversible and we already seen that reversible work is maximum, always maximum. So therefore for finite change we can write delta G is equals to W maximum non-expansion work. Hence delta G will give us the value of non-expansion work, maximum non-expansion work performed by the system. That's it. This is all for today. Now in next lecture we will see properties of Gibbs free energy. Thanks for watching.